What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Here's another episode of the Be Wise Podcast. I am your host, Chris Y. Wright. What's happening out there? We're going to keep it real today. We're going to talk about some issues that happens. And this is kind of a black issue. It's a black issue. But if you're white and you're watching this, please stay. Because I want you to acknowledge what you're either witnessing or not witnessing. For you, it may just be entertainment. You get to sit on the sidelines and watch Black people fight it out on social media, on podcasts. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. I don't even know if at this point I got either very few or any Black friends at all. Because what tends to happen is a lot of Black people feel that to be in the culture, you need to walk in lockstep with being a Democrat, being a liberal, having racial idolatry, Black is good, white is evil. And if you put down or criticize Black people, but you support white people in any circumstance, then you're called names. You're Uncle Tom, Coon, Sambo. Anything you can think of, we're called names. And we're no longer invited to the cookout. And I've resigned my Black card a long time ago because it was too hard to keep it. Like, you could not be honest. You could not be truthful and keep your Black card. You call out something. You criticize a Black person on social media, be it a celebrity or athlete or a politician. You take a certain stance. You vote for this person over that person. If you don't vote for the Black person, you lose friends and colleagues. I'm holding my phone because I can't turn it off because I'm waiting for calls. So it may vibrate or buzz. So I apologize in advance for that, but I'm going to keep it right there. Anyway, so that's just kind of the reality of our world. And whites, you don't live in it. You don't have people telling you that you're a sellout because you voted for Barack Obama over Hillary Clinton, or because you root for, I don't know, LeBron James over, Jokic. If we do that, no, Jokic is better than LeBron. He'd be like, Uncle Tom, sellout, coon. I laugh because it's just so ludicrous. It drives me nuts. But and that takes me to another subject. Like, do you really know who your friends are? Like, you think you have friends, but they're not really friends. They're only friends when it's convenient to be friends. But as soon as it gets hard and you challenge they start to challenge your values and your ethics and your morals and your beliefs and even your loyalties, then a lot of those people disappear. They're no longer your friends. I saw a clip on the Shannon Sharpe show, and it was talking about fake friends. And it really kind of resonated. Now, it's total different subject. If you don't know, or if you live under a rock, Shannon Sharpe went through a lot when he was on ESPN, and he got accused of sexual assault and some type of domestic situation with a girlfriend. And ESPN had to cut ties with him. And he was at the apex of his podcast, Club Shay Shay. He was on top of the world. Every network in the world in America was inviting him to become a part of their entertainment system, and he was turning stuff down. He could name his price. And Stephen A. Smith reached out to him and got him a job on First Take. He got to pick his hours. I only want to work 3 days a week. Had the #1 podcast on YouTube because he had the Cat Williams interview. I don't know if you remember all this. But anyway, he was saying something about since all that happened with the girl and she's been suing him and charges have come up against him and he's been fighting that. All those people disappeared. All the people that used to call him all the time and want to do things with him or do projects with him and business relationships all went away. But I'll let him tell his story. It's kind of interesting.
People, when y'all see me, I don't want y'all to have the wrong impression. But I'm just very guarded now. I'm very, very guarded. I was always on alert, but I'm on high alert because I really don't know who I can really trust. Because what I've seen over the last 6 months, there are very few people that you can actually trust.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah. Very, very, very few.
Man.
And there are people that said some things and it's gotten back to me. Mm-hmm. But I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And you remember we had this conversation, Ocho, about being down and then people feel like they can pile on.
Yeah.
But I'm just very I'm very matter of fact. I'm very, hey, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going about I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm on my way because I don't want people. Yeah, I had a conversation and Jeff, because if you stay too long, Ocho, the more people, and this is what I had to learn, and somebody told me this. Mm-hmm. They say, Shannon, the more people you become involved with, the more stories there is to be told.
Mm.
Circle got to be crazy small.
I'm going to get back to that, but let me just say that like people who you thought, not only did you think they were friends, but you even considered them to be family. Like if they were to die tomorrow, you would take their kids without even a question. Like, I got you. Make sure his wife is good, you know? These are people who like just disappear on you because maybe you change political affiliations. Maybe y'all were boys when you voted for Obama, but since you switched to Trump, they just disappear, right? They feel some kind of way, like, ugh, I could never be friends with you anymore. I'm like, yo, I thought our friendship was deeper than that, you know? And it's like, so you keep your circle small. And you're going to realize that the most important people is your immediate family. Not even your extended family, your immediate family. So all that going out and say, I got to meet up with my boys, and your wife is saying, you don't stay home enough. You need to start staying home. Because when it's all said and done, she's going to be the only one there.
The more people you're involved with, Shannon, the more stories there are to be told.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I appreciate you, Ocho, because you're like, hey, when you text me, Unc, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Whatever we got to go through, we going through it. You ain't by yourself.
Hey, till the wheels fall the fuck off. Shit, you gave me the opportunity.
There are so many people, Ocho and Joe,
where I'm going,
that used to call, that used to text.
Yeah.
I ain't heard from them since this happened.
Mm. And that's what I'm saying. Ocho said till the wheels fall off. That's the kind of friends you need. People will say it, but then when they're put to the test, yo, man, I got to separate myself from you. We can't be boys anymore. It's just weird. Because I consider myself a loyal friend. I'm a friend to the end. I don't care what political affiliation you rock in, or I might not agree with you. I might call you a effing idiot. I might try and get you to change your mind. But we still boys, though. You're still a friend. I'm closer with ex-girlfriends than I am some of my boys because they just disappeared. It's crazy.
But that's all right, though. That's all right, though.
Man, please.
Yeah, keep it moving, baby.
Maybe this is what I don't wish this on anybody. But what it did do is it really showed me who's really, really there.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people on the peripheral. When things were going well, when we're at the apex and getting invited to everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about ain't called.
Self-preservation, man. People look out for themselves. You might affect their job, their parents, their circle because of how you think, what you did, got yourself in some trouble. Oh, I can't associate with him. I can't associate with him. I forgot the guy's name. He used to be on Sex and the City. They called him Mr. Big. And he had got accused. He was Sarah Jessica Parker's leading man on Sex and the City. He got in some trouble. And 2 women accused him of sexual assault. And she immediately cut him off. And not only did she cut him off, but she went to the media and made a statement. He was like, wow. He thought they were best friends. Nope. She turned on him just like that. Because it would have affected her career, would have affected her livelihood. So somebody got in her ear and go, aren't you going to make a statement? Aren't you going to make a statement? So she traded. She just like turned against him just like that.
Ain't called. And I'm talking about, we were talking once a month, twice a month.
Right. Oh, it's gonna come back.
But I see.
Yeah, and you know, I think about too, Unc and Joe. You had to think about, you know, Unc, what you had to go through. You know, I've been in the eye of that storm too now. Big time in front of the world.
Yeah.
So I had to take my licks. I had to
You
take
gotta,
my
you
wounds.
gotta.
And I had, hey, Joe, boy, them calls stopped. Ain't heard from nobody. My circle was always small, so my same circle was right there, you know, to lift me up. But I already knew I was finna sit for a minute.
Yeah.
For a long time, Joe. It was quiet, for maybe 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know how long 6 years is?
Hell
Ain't
yeah.
nothing coming. No, nothing. You just, and then here we go. You give me an opportunity, you know, while everything is back going, motion is going good.
Yeah.
And then you think I had a nerve to jump ship just because you going through what I had to go through years ago. What the fuck I'm going? I know it. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, Ocho Cinco was so big that he changed his name to Ocho Cinco. That means 85 in his language. What he's saying is that when things went south for him, got some bad pub, got in trouble with the law, everybody dropped him. Old teammates on the Bengals, friends, celebrity friends, ESPN friends, everybody used to call him to do shows. 6 years went by. He didn't get a call from nobody. He was living off his NFL checks. Nobody offered him an opportunity to make money. Shannon called him up and said, hey, man, I got Club Shay Shay, but I'm about to do something else called Nightcap. I'd love for you to be my co-host. Only person in 6 years to offer him an opportunity. So that's why he's saying, bro, I'm with you till the wheels fall off.
And I'm looking at the chat. Everybody say Stephen A. No, I will say this. Stephen A has called me and been there every step of the way. I will say that. I will say Stephen A have reached out. He's called, asked me anything. Juvie, he's like, man, Juvie just wanted to say, hey, that's his boy. He just wanted to say, hey, you good? Hey, you good? I'm good. I'm good. Look, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about Stephen A. All I can attest to is the way Stephen A is with Shannon. And he's been great because when I went through what I was going through at Fox, he was there.
Stephen A. Smith. That's a good segue because he's going to be my next topic of conversation and why I said there's too many black on black wars going on in the media. Too many. And it's messy because I don't see it in the white community. I don't see it. I don't see whites beefing. My mom used to say, we like crabs in a barrel. Like there's not enough room for all the blacks to ascend to heights. So we like to pull each other down. And it's crazy. But he's going to say something about Stephen A. Smith, and then we're going to go into that subject.
Stephen A. has called me and been there every step of the way. I will say that. I will say Stephen A. have reached out. He's called, asked me anything. Juvie, he's like, man, Juvie just wanted to say, hey, that's his boy. He just wanted to say, hey, you good? Hey, you good? I'm good. I'm good. Look, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about Stephen A. All I can attest to is the way Stephen A. is with Shannon. And he's been great because when I went through what I was going through at Fox, he was there. Mm-hmm. When I was going through he was calling anything I can do. What can I do? I won't get into private conversations that we have because that's between he and I.
Right.
But there are a lot of other people, a lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of the parcel of land. There were a few, quite a few. But
I'm gonna start using that, especially since I'm in real estate. A lot. No, never mind. A lot is a parcel of land. Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
You know what? I've been down before. This public lashing and ridicule and scorn and humiliation.
Been there.
Thank you.
I like that he keeps on trucking. A lot of people you get like the Kevin Spaceys who was accused of something, or the people who were canceled during the Me Too movement. They went in hiding. They went dark. And I thought the people that persevered came out and was like, well, I'll just do something else. I'll start a talk show, or I'll start a podcast, or I'll just try and get on call some friends, if you have any, for a couple of favors, for a job. It might pay less. It might diminish my legacy. But I think as long as you just keep pushing, you keep showing your face, it don't matter whether you got caught up in some, prostitution, solicitation, sexual assault, domestic violence, nasty divorce. Look, things happen. You just keep pushing, though. Keep showing your face. People are going to turn around. People will turn around. Robert Downey Jr. went down, came back up. That's just kind of where it happens. But keep showing your face. Shannon keeps showing his face. Still doing interviews. Less viewers on his podcast, less subscribers. People canceled him. He's still here, showing his face.
Lumps. But it took me a while to realize, like, hold on. You call the people that you're closest to. Mm-hmm. Brother, mom, sister, kids, best friend, Bucket Burns. You explain to them what? They say, bro, we good. Once I got to that, Ocho, you and I talked about this.
And let me just say, let's say you're so popular, whether it's a small community or a large community or Hollywood, whatever, and you got thousands of people know you. You going on the red carpet, Golden Globes, Grammys, Oscars, you've been invited to everything. And then that pool of people shrinks down to 3. You start calling people calling you, and I go, we good? You go, bro, no question, we good. That's your circle. That's your circle. Everybody else, they don't matter. But the ones that go, are we good? We good. Hey, I know you heard what happened. We good? We good. Now, let's say there's a divorce, right? You did something, got out in the public, and then you call your boys. Yo, we good? If they say, him on, nope, no problem. All right, I'm just checking. You hang up, you don't have to call them again. They'll call you. You call your next boy or girl, whatever you hang out with. We good? Man, Hey, what you talking about? You don't even have to ask that question. We good. That's your circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's your circle.
Man, look, it is what it is. I'm gonna be all right.
I ain't even want to hear it. We good.
Sunshine follows rain.
What time the next show?
Right.
Hey Joe, that's all I want to know. What time is the next show?
That is exactly what he said. He did what he
All right. I just wanted to touch on that because I wanted to talk about that's friendship. That's brotherhood. That's people who got your back. People who got your back. So he brought up Stephen A. Smith. And as you know, Stephen A. Smith is the one that got Shannon Sharpe the job on ESPN. So everybody was wondering, like, yo, the essay, that's what they call him, essay. Did essay look out for you when you was going through all that drama? He's here to tell you firsthand. You didn't have to hear from a third party. That's who got your back. So on to black on black hostility, because blacks are not allowed to criticize one another. So there was a Facebook post I was on recently. I'm not going to show it, and I'm not going to show the person's response. But on that post, it was a woman, something she said that questioned my integrity, my values, and they seemed to question my cultural loyalty, like with respect to black people, respecting my blackness, me being a black man. Said something about one of the big things they say that you have self-hatred because you believe or vote or support a certain way politically. You're Sambo. You're going against the community. And that person put this out there, and we aren't friends, but we're friendly. We work in the same industry. We know the same people. So for you to insult me like that in public on my feed, that's a violation. If you want to question my loyalty to the black community, or you want to question me as a black man, inbox me, text me, call me. Yo, can we talk? But no, some people feel so strongly about you violating the code that they'll just blast you. I find that incredibly disrespectful. I would never do that to another person. I wouldn't do that to another black person. First of all, I don't even believe in the word sellout. What are you selling out? Sellout. That to me is like saying, I turned on you personally, but I can't sell out the whole black nation because we're not a monolith. There's going to be people that think like me, who walk like me, who ride like me. But the sentiment that someone isn't black enough because they have different political views, it's old, it's tired, it's wearing out, and it doesn't even bother people anymore. And intelligent black people, I consider myself intelligent, we won't subscribe to that. But we will check you if you come at us calling us names in the comments. Podcaster, former NFL player Marcellus Wiley got beef with Ryan Clark. And it all started because Ryan Clark questioned his blackness, questioned his loyalty to the black community. You know? And it's just, it's crazy. So, but the whole idea that we must walk like in lockstep with one another and believe and think the same thing, those days are over. Again, we are not a monolith. There are black liberals and equally black conservatives. There are black people that have different ideologies about many things. There are black people who are both conservatives, but they may have different people who they follow and think like. We've just evolved into this diverse political dichotomy. Like, we can do better, but we're progressing in our politics. We're no longer the 95% Democratic Party. Those days are over. So I beg all of you, for the sake of our race, do not diminish, minimize, or marginalize your brothers and sisters who feel differently than you do. Instead, we should be embracing one another, because for so long in America, we didn't have a voice. And now that we have a voice, we have to be slaves to our own people. We have to talk a certain way, walk a certain way, express ourselves a certain way. I thought we were free. When they freed the slaves, did they free the slaves, or did we just become slaves to a culture that doesn't exist? We are free-thinking people, and we're going to have different points of views. All Italians don't think alike. All Irish people don't think alike. All white people, Hispanics, Asians, Caribbeans, they don't all think alike. But we in America, we have to think alike. And I'm going to love you no matter what. I don't care. But I'm going to check you. But I'm going to love you because we are kin in the blood and the struggle and this culture of being descendants of slaves and going through the struggles that we've gone through in America. I'm going to love you for that because you persevered. You're still here. But we can't cure our community with one thought process. I pray for your success. I really do. But when you change politics, if you are a Democrat or a progressive or you're a liberal, you're going to find out who your true friends are. You're going to find out who your family is. And the segue went to Stephen A. Smith. I want to talk about that. And Stephen A. Smith's been fighting with all these black people. Jemele Hill, formerly of ESPN, Cari Champion of ESPN, Reid, Don Lemon, Steven Jackson, who's on the All the Smoke podcast, former NBA player, Jason Whitlock, Terrell Owens, Representative Jasmine Crockett, CNN contributor Bakari Sellers. The list just goes on. And everybody's coming at him, all these black people, because he started a political talk show called Straight Shooter. And sometimes he has to come down on black people. Reid, she was one of the people that's been fighting Stephen A. She actually took the time to put together a compilation of times he's come out against black people. And it's crazy. Check this out.
And to go ahead and answer Lindsay's question, since you didn't, Stephen, here is a compilation of why so many black people, and they're really not the few, think that you're a sellout.
Get real serious about Kamala Harris. I'm incredibly disappointed with what I've seen from the standpoint of her promoting this book. She came across as somewhat leaderless at that particular moment in time, which is something that Trump was pointing out. Then you come out with a book. Nobody wants to hear this now. This is the problem. And this is why I believe her political career is over.
So if you don't know what he's talking about, Kamala Harris wrote a book. And she put all the problems of the Biden administration back on Joe Biden. She would take no culpability. She just ran a big bus right over him. And I think it politically scarred her. What's wrong with him saying that? Next, he talked about Serena Williams.
Serena Williams was wrong. Somebody has to say it, so I will. When Serena Williams brought the issue of gender and sexism into the argument, that's when she...
Mrs. Michelle Obama, I would like to see you have some people on your podcast with dissenting opinions, dare I say.
Serena Williams got in trouble at a tournament. Of course, the umpire up in the chair was white, and she just went off talking about, because I'm a woman, comparing herself to John McEnroe, because I'm a black woman, comparing herself to race. Those kind of issues have never been brought up in tennis before. He was just pointing it out, saying, you look weak. You look weak when you have to resort to identity politics to defend yourself. If you felt that the umpire was unfair, talk about why he or she was unfair. Don't blame it on identity. Next, he's talking to Michelle Obama.
That would be nice. So they could have an opportunity to clap back if you say something. You said a vote for Trump was a vote against you and a vote against y'all as women. I want to state for the record, I took major offense to that.
Joy Reid's laughing. But he's right. So Michelle Obama, she has her own podcast now. She said something about Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith is just responding. She also said that a vote for Trump is a vote against the Obamas. So basically, if you voted for Obama, you have to vote for whoever the Obamas tell you to. You need to be supporting Kamala because the Obamas told you to. And that's just what I was saying about being a slave to the culture. We have to see what blacks are doing, read what blacks are doing, and then we need to do that. Can't have them on their own. Stepford wives, walk in lockstep.
Black men don't just love our black women. We revere y'all.
She is entitled to her opinion. She's earned it. I have never, nor would I ever disrespect Jemele Hill.
This one was a double whammy because Michelle Beadle, who is white, came out against Stephen A. hard because he took her spot on the Mad Dog show on Sirius XM. And Beadle came at him hard. And he wasn't going to respond. He wasn't going to respond. He was just going to let it go, roll off his back. But then he did respond about Michelle Beadle. But before he could respond, Cari Champion and Jemele Hill, who's in this picture, came at him hard. Oh, you gonna let a white woman talk to you like that? You don't have the same smoke for her that you have for black women, and la da 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 da, and it turned into a whole thing. But he made two more enemies. Keep it going.
But that doesn't mean that you get to create your own facts. You can call it bullshit all you want to. Respectfully, the one that's spewing bullshit is you. I'm really, really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be
towards the standpoint of her promoting this book. She came across
as a LeBron James, really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be.
So this was the one time of all the people he criticized that I actually disagreed with him because he came out against LeBron James for getting his son Bronny on the Lakers. And I disagreed with Stephen because nepotism is everywhere. Now, if you're out there watching this, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that LeBron basically held the Lakers hostage unless he put Bronny on the team. But there's nepotism everywhere. I've been in corporate America all my life, except for my military stint. And damn near every place I've worked, I've seen sons and daughters there. And those sons and daughters had positions of power. Management, supervisor, VP, executive this, executive that, HR. How did they get the job? Do you think they applied? No. Mama, Papa gave them the job. Have you met my daughter? That's what they would say. Have you met my daughter? She's the HR director. She's the VP of operations. She's the COO. Have you met my son? All over corporate America, nepotism exists. Why not in sports? Why not in sports? And guess what? If I'm in a position of power and I could pass that on to my child, In 2 or 3 generations, no one's going to care or know. Hell, as far back as the 1700s, you had John Adams and John Quincy Adams. Both, a father and a son, president of the United States. Look at the Kennedys. You don't think Papa Joe Kennedy passed down favors to get his sons in power? Come on.
Towards LeBron James. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
I don't know why the hell Nike made these damn uniforms that have hoods attached to it, by the way. You got a lot of those white folks in the audience that's going to think this is Trayvon Martin being revisited. And I'm not joking about it. The bench is no place for somebody to be wearing hoodies.
I, too, thought that Major League Sports Leagues, the NBA, the NFL, they go too far with their slogans. Black Lives Matter, end racism, black this, black that, things on the back of helmets. Hey, I'm here to watch a sport. I don't need your social issue commentary all over the field, sitting on the sidelines with black this t-shirts, Black Lives Matter, support black businesses. I don't want to see that in my sports. Nike making hoodies with Black Lives Matter on them. Come on, man. Can't breathe. That's just not what we tune into sports for. We tune into sports to get away from that. So I agree with him on that.
Colin Kaepernick wants the media. This Colin Kaepernick, media can't find him. He ain't done no interviews. He ain't talked to nobody. Media can't find him, but he wants to do it. He wants the media available now. He don't want to play.
Colin Kaepernick. Stephen A. Smith was involved in the process of getting him a tryout. He didn't show up to the place that they told him to show up. Where's Colin? He's off at another field or something. I forgot exactly how it went down, but I knew there was a whole thing around it. And then he wanted the media to come to him. He's just saying, come, brother, it's embarrassing. I set this up and look what you do. I'm a black man trying to help a black man. And you went and made an ass out of me and yourself, Colin Kaepernick. The girlfriend, the afro, the pigs on the socks. Everybody dismissed all of that. You had a whole nation of people kneeling and raising their fist. And you never did anything with all of that power and political clout you had. It's insane.
He wants to be a martyr.
He wants to be a martyr.
But guess what? It ain't working this time. You don't want to work. You just want to make noise.
Colin, you don't want to work. You just want to make noise. That's powerful. And that's what he did. Where's he now in 2026? Haven't heard a peep out of him. Where's he during all these Minneapolis riots? Can't find him. He was in it for the short haul. But when it stopped making him money, he don't care about the citizens of Minneapolis. Colin Kaepernick.
And you want to control the narrative. It's over. Let me tell you what gets me annoyed. And I hope Jasmine Crockett is listening to this. By the way, she's welcome on the show. When you go on national television and you calling the president of the United States out of his name, and you're being all disrespectful, as a representative in this country, do you believe the citizens of Texas sent you there to do that?
Where's the lie?
They don't like him either. I'm talking about those who voted for her in all likelihood. But because he is who he is and he is in that position, they expect you to go to Capitol Hill and figure out a way to maneuver yourself through that terrain to work in a fashion that's going to facilitate getting things done on behalf of your constituents. That's your job.
Did he say anything wrong? He's saying, Jasmine, come on. Stop all the criticism of the president. Stop the name calling and get something done. Because that's why they voted for you. They didn't vote for you to be a ham. Like anybody can go on stage and yell and scream and talk down the president, but you have higher goals than that. We want you to succeed. We just don't like the way you're doing it.
That's your job.
That's your job.
Excuse my language on Sirius XM, but it ain't your job to say he ain't shit. He ain't worth a damn. That's not your job. Anybody can do that. I've listened to Jasmine Crockett. Both AOC and Jasmine Crockett are welcomed on this show. I respect the hell out of both of them. I'm not here to disrespect anybody. I'm only talking about what strategy is going to work.
What Bakari Sellers needs to recognize is, why don't you tell what the truth is? Why don't you speak about the level of resentment that you really, really have? That the American people are more willing to listen to somebody like me or the others that you mentioned rather than you, who's been doing this for years, out of South Carolina and then some. Nobody care what you have to say. I'm giving you pub right now by talking about you. Because this is the kind of individual he is. I could come at somebody like that who chooses to be disrespectful. You know my number. You could have reached me a long time ago. We could have had discussions a long time ago. The only time you ever reached out to anybody is when you wanted to sell your book. So it doesn't matter to me what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter to me how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter to me how knowledgeable you are, because nobody wants to listen to you, because your intent and your disposition and your default position is to attack personally people you don't even know. A charlatan? That implies I'm a fraud. How am I fraudulent? My work speaks for itself. I've been doing this for years. And Sirius XM wanting to come to me, I got news for you. CNN will want me before they want you, and you work there. Not to mention other networks. Don't hate on us because of what you ain't. Step up and be more than that by focusing on the issues. And if we don't know, teach us. That's all you got to do. Teach us. If you're right, we'll listen to you. And instead of me calling you out on the airways, what I do instead is sit on the air and say, hey, this makes perfect sense, man. Bakari Sellers is right. Just like I've said Van Jones is right. Just like I've said others are right. On the left and the right. You bought and paid for on one side. Don't even want to hear what the other has to say. But you talking about me. Sit.
So Bakari Sellers, I couldn't quite remember what he was so heated about. But Bakari Sellers, I think he was on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God. And that was in October 2025. He heavily criticized Stephen A. Smith, labeling him a charlatan, accused him of tearing down black people for personal gain. And then they went to this heated back and forth. It was about, he was upset because he had criticized Jasmine Crockett. And then he said he was self-serving and that he catered to the white gaze. Not gaze as in sexuality gaze, the gaze as in, I want them to look at me. They were laughing on the Breakfast Club when he said, you know, he caters to the white gaze. They were like, what? The white gaze? What are you talking about? He meant the gaze, the look. And he was catering to white-ring figures like Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly, Ben Shapiro for approval rather than supporting the black community. He expressed that his criticism was born out of disappointment in how Smith uses his platform. Says that he's similar to Jason Whitlock, which is ironic because Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith are at war. But where does all this come from? I just wanted to show that. Let me get Joy Reid off the screen. Where does all that come from? It comes from this black on black hostility. Crabs in the barrel. This is why we can only have one area of ascension at a time. You know what? Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Sidney Poitier, all those guys, they were the top Black actor for so many years. Unless it was a Black movie, you would never see them in the same film together. But if it was a predominantly white movie, they would say, who's our Black guy? Call Samuel L. Jackson. Call Morgan Freeman. Call Denzel Washington. You see? And now the Denzel Washington is pretty much out of the spotlight. Now it's Michael B. Jordan. But because we fight amongst each other so much as a community, we could, if we didn't, we could go to Hollywood and say, am I the only Black person in this film? Come on. I'm sure you have some other roles that more Black people could be in. But no, because we want that, as a culture, we want that spotlight to ourselves. And it's the same in politics. It's the same in media. It's the same in social media. Tearing each other down. Oh, he's a coon. He's an Uncle Tom. He caters to the white gaze. I could be Joe Rogan, right? I could be Joe Rogan. But if I interview too many white people, oh boy. They'll say you don't interview enough Black people, or I can't believe you laughing and jocking with that guy and he hates Black people and da-da-da-da-da. I can never ascend to be Joe Rogan because you're tearing me down. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you're white and you're watching this, thank you for staying, because you're thinking, well, this is not a white problem. But I want you to notice it. I want you to notice it. And I'm not in it. Like, I'm going to criticize people based on their character, based on their works, based on the things they do. Told you my phone's going to go off every now and then. I can't take calls because I'm talking to you. But I'm going to criticize people based on the things they do, not because of the color of their skin. But, all right. Let me get on out here. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.